Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Namaskar. For starters, my apologies. My apologies because I told you I will come with a Congress versus BJP Manifesto comparison yesterday. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I couldn't for two reasons. Technically, I found comparing these two manifestos were not very easy because I was not comparing apples to apples. I'll tell you what I mean by that. You see, the fact is, whatever I say, whatever I'm going to say will sound a little biased against BJP. For the simple reason is, BJP is an incumbent government. It is the current Indian government who is seeking for their extension for the next 5 years. They're seeking your votes. So, everything that BJP has put down in its manifesto, we will be comparing it with the last 5 years of theirs. Congress, on the other hand, is fresh. So, I have nothing much to compare it with. Comparing it with UPA and UPA 1 and previous government, Indira Gandhi, Nehru and all, well, it will be taking it too far. Now, Rahul Gandhi is a fresh blood. Rahul Gandhi is new. He's got new enthusiasm. So, it will not be fair for us to compare his manifesto to his predecessors. So, that also is unfair. And also the fact that judging entirely, which I'm anyway going to do, judging BJP's manifesto based on their 5-year work will be also kind of unfair to them because I have nothing to judge Congress's work with. So that was the reason why I was having a little problem yesterday to actually come in front of you and deliver this comparison to you. But all the same, with a rider, in fact with two riders. Rider 1 is that BJP is at a disadvantage as far as this manifesto is concerned, because obviously we'll be judging them for the last 5 years. So BJP is at a disadvantage. So a lot of things that I say has to be taken with the understanding that BJP is at a disadvantage. 2, the fact is, I have taken points which I thought were important. Obviously, I can't go through the 59 pages manifesto of each of the parties and go to every point and pick every point and compare them. So, I have normally taken points which were important, which I thought were important and which I thought I could highlight and present in front of you. So, these are the two riders that I'm going with. That said, let's go right into the comparison. Now, let us compare both these manifestos on a category to category basis. Let's take the first category as agriculture. In agriculture, Congress had promised Qarz Maafi to Qarz Mukti, where they said that we will ensure that the input costs are lesser and the output cost is more, in turn giving the farmers more revenue, more profits. They said Permanent National Commission on Agriculture Development and Planning, something similar to the Niti Aayog or the Planning Commission to be set up for agriculture. Very good idea. Then they talked about separate Kisan budget. Like the railway budget, like the annual budget, they said we will have a separate Kisan budget. So this was what Congress promised to the farmers. BJP, on the other hand, said doubling farmers' income by 2022. They spoke about Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, which is the 6,000 rupees minimum guaranteed, assured guaranteed. They spoke about pension for small and marginal farmers after the age of 60. They spoke about 25 lakh crore of investment in agri-rural sectors. They spoke about interest-free Kisan card loans. They spoke about loans for Kisan through the Kisan card, interest-free for 1 to 5 years. So, these were the 5 things that the BJP offered the Kisans. Now, if you to analyze it, the concept of Congress was to ensure that they move Kisans from Qarz Maafi to Qarz Mukti. We all have been saying this for a long time. We cannot depend on subsidy economy. It is only going to further deteriorate the agricultural sector. Congress, at least in words, in this manifesto, had said that they understood it, they realized it, and therefore they are going to ensure that the sector, the agricultural sector, is uplifted by ensuring farmers gets more profits, by ensuring there is a special planning commission totally focused on agriculture. They said they will ensure that there is a separate Kisan budget. So Congress versus BJP. This round of agriculture goes to Congress. Upliftment of poor. Upliftment of poor, first thing, is the basis of Congress's campaign, Congress's manifesto, Congress's everything. The basis of Congress, which is the Nyunatam Aay Yojana, or NYAY as they call it, where they said they will offer 72,000 rupees guaranteed to people living below the poverty line, living 20% of people below the poverty line. They said they will guarantee it, and that's the first and foremost thing that they have announced, and most importantly, that's the basis of their campaign. Now, one still wonders, my rider, one is still not confident as to where this money is going to come from, where is this investment going to come from, but all the same, the thing is that I asked the same question to Sam Petroda, but what he's told me is, he said, listen, you know what, this is all taken care of. There are people like Chidambaram, there are people like Manmohan Singh who all sat together, worked together to ensure that, they have planned everything out. So everything is set. So that's what he said. I'll go by what he is saying for the moment. So NYAY sounds good. NYAY is what they launched for upliftment of poor. The second thing what they spoke about is Homestead. Homestead Act will ensure that the rural poor will get land. The landless rural poor will get land for them to put up their small houses, and the fact is they will not be landless and houseless. So that's the second thing they said. And for urban, they said the same thing, that they will construct houses for the urban poor. So this is what Congress's promise is. On the other hand, BJP promises to bring down the below poverty line figure, which is basically 21% today, to a single digit number, which means they say that we will get it down from 21% to anything below 9%. So this is what this is what BJP promises, and BJP has promised Pakka houses for every poor before 2020. So here, basically, because of NYAY, and with the rider and with the assumption that NYAY could be implemented and will be implemented, I think the upliftment of poor this round too goes for the Congress. The third is unemployment. Congress offers 34 lakh jobs, where they say 4 lakh out of this 34 lakh job, they say they will promise it before the 2020 March year ending, and 4 lakhs jobs, they say, will be actually given away, will be doled out from the central government. The second 30 lakhs, they're offering it through the state governments. They're coaxing the state government to fill the 30 lakh vacancy. So that's how they're promising 34 lakh jobs. And they say that they will ensure that they will reward private companies. They will reward private companies to give more jobs, and therefore ensure that the number of jobs in the market increases. So this is what Congress's promise is. When it comes to BJP, it reminds me of a saying that is, once bitten, twice shy. And in Hindi, it's actually better. In Hindi, they say, "Doodh ka jala, chhas bhi phuk phuk ke pita hai." So the idea is that BJP had offered 2 crore jobs per year, in their last manifesto, that is the 2014 manifesto, which is 10 crore jobs in 5 years of their existence in 2014 manifesto. One doesn't know what number they achieved. In fact, nobody knows what number they achieved. Different WhatsApps and other propaganda channel gives different number, but technically one doesn't know what they have achieved. So basically, it has been a bane for BJP. Therefore, this time around, BJP has not mentioned any numbers. But what BJP has said, though, BJP said that they will ensure that they will guarantee 1 lakh rupees loan guarantee to MSMEs, that is small and medium-sized entrepreneurship, so that you have more and more of small and medium-sized entrepreneurship. That means you will develop more and more small businesses, which in turn will develop more jobs. So that's their idea, that develop small business and the businesses will develop job. They also spoke about giving 20,000 crores as seed fundings for small businesses, again as part of Startup India. So that was another thing. Another offer, what they also did was the 10% EBC, 10% job reservation for EBC. But then the point is, their own senior minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari asked, where are the jobs to give reservations? So that is there. So therefore, even on this front, even on the job front, because Congress is offering something very, very concrete, and what Congress offers, so those seems very, very less compared to the kind of requirement that there is in India. Absolutely nothing compared to the requirement, but at least there is a number in place, there is a commitment in place, and there is a very strong logic in how they are going to achieve these numbers. So to that extent, because of that, again, this round 2 goes to the Congress. Small business and taxations. Small business and taxations. Congress has introduced the GST 2. Congress says GST has got of layers. This is not how we designed GST. GST has got of layers, got of lot of slabs, lot of complications. So what Congress says, we will ease GST. We'll call it GST 2. We'll ease the way GST is done, and therefore they will relaunch GST, call it GST 2 first. The second, what Congress says is IT currently is used to threaten small businesses, to threaten political adversaries, to threaten, to actually give a lot of, there is no comfort level between the revenue department and the business house currently. It's a lot of fear, and it's a lot of fear and uncertainty. They said they will decriminalize taxations, and only tax evaders will be prosecuted under the law. So that's what the Congress promises. And as far as BJP is concerned, other than the fact that they are offering, like I said, the 1 lakh crore loan guarantee for small and medium-sized business, and 20,000 crore startup funds for the small and medium-sized business, there is not much that they are offering in terms of taxation, number one. Even in this case, while in taxation, Congress has taken the lead, but at least at some level, BJP has offered small and medium-sized business some schemes, the minimum guarantee schemes and the startup funding scheme. So this one, I will hand it over to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Women reservation scheme. Congress has offered 33% reservation. Congress said that they will ensure that the Women's Reservation Bill is implemented in the Parliament. So they have offered 33% reservations for women. They have offered 33% reservation on central government jobs for the women. They have offered special force for prevention of crime against women. This last one was very impressive. They have offered to build a special force to prevent crime against women. Whereas BJP has also offered 33% reservations for women. They've also offered to ensure that the Women's Reservation Act is implemented. They have offered to increase the women's workforce in the central government jobs and central government and government employment. They have promised to increase the women's workforce. And to addition of all this, they have ensured that Triple Talaq Bill will be made into an act. So these are the three offers of BJP. So while I am very impressed with the prevention of crime against women cell that Congress spoke about, but predominantly, if you look at both their offers are more or less the same. So I think this one will be a tie between BJP and the Congress. Now let's go to education, another very important category. Education. What the Congress offers is the Congress offers that every child will get quality education. Now that's not an offer, that's a statement. So I will ignore that. What Congress says that from class 1 to class 12, they will ensure that it is made free to all Indian children. Every Indian citizen, every Indian child will get education from class 1 to class 12 absolutely free. They also say that they will ensure that every higher secondary school is made up till 12th standard. So that's the three major offer they have offered to Indian citizens, to the voters. Last one, but not the least, is also that they have said that they will achieve all this by increasing the budget to 6% of the GDP by 2023-24. 6% of the GDP would be expended for education by 23-24. So that's the Congress offer. Now the BJP says that they will invest 1 lakh crore in higher education, and they said they will create more seats. They will create more seats for management, law, engineering institutes. So there'll be more seats in premium colleges. That's what the BJP promised, and they promised 1 lakh crore. Now, what is interesting is BJP, I presume, is obsessed with this 1 lakh figure. I mean, most of the figures are 1 lakh crore, 1 lakh 1,000 crores, 1 lakh jobs, 1 lakh that. So yeah, I guess they're slightly infatuated with this figure of 1 lakh. But all the same, this is what the BJP offers. But clearly, the Congress manifesto seems to have a plan in place for education. And secondly, yes, here I am biased. I am biased because BJP had also promised 6% expenditure for education in their 2014 manifestos. My apology. They had promised a 6% expenditure on education, but they didn't spend 6%. In fact, the expenditure was almost brought down to 3%. So basically, they didn't do what they want other than increasing the expenditure. They actually decreased the expenditure on education. So this government, the NDA government, has not been good as far as education is concerned in this country. Therefore, the winner of this education category would again be the Congress party and their manifesto. Now let's go to healthcare. The Congress says that it will double the expenditure of healthcare to 3% of the GDP by 2023-24. Congress says that they will ensure that medical health would be free. High-end medical health would be free, whether that is diagnostic, whether that is hospitalization, whether that is outpatient, whether that is medicines. High-end medical facilities will be free in India, and they said for which they will increase the budget to 3% of the GDP by 2023-2024. They have promised to institute the Right of Healthcare Act. Very good point. They have promised to institute the Right of Healthcare Act if they are brought to power. So that's their commitment as far as healthcare is concerned. On the other hand, BJP talks about creating 1 lakh health and you remember the lakh figure that I just spoke to you about? Here again, BJP has committed to establish 1 lakh health and wellness center under the Ayushman Bharat scheme. They have committed to work towards increasing the number of childcare facilities and almost increase it to 3-folds. And the one good thing that they have committed, and if they deliver it, it will be very nice for India, is they have promised to have a 1:1,400 ratio. 1:1,000. That means for every 1,400 Indians, you will have one doctor. That is the kind of ratio they said that they will implement it. Now, the fact remains that I am still inclined to go with the Congress on this one for the simple reason that Congress manifesto here seemed to have a very possible and a practical plan in place, whereas a lot of this, which has been said by BJP, looks like it's a good dream, it's a good target, but how to achieve it, what is the methodology of achieving it, has not been narrated. So even for healthcare, I will go with the Congress, and the Congress takes the bout. Let's go next to social justice. Congress offers Adivasis not to be evicted from their forest land. Congress offers minimum support price on NTFP. NTFP stands for non-timber forest product. They said they will offer minimum price for NTFP, which will ensure Adivasis has got better profits, which will ensure Adivasis gets more money. Congress ensured that they will withdraw Transgender Act and they will review the LGBT Act if they come into power. Congress has promised that they will end hate crimes if they come into power. What they have said is they will ensure that the state administration and the police are made more responsible for hate crimes. So they said that they will ensure it ends. They said that they will ensure that Aadhaar will not be used to infringe privacy of private Indian citizens. So these are the 4 or 5 things that Congress offers to the citizens if they come into power. Now, on the other hand, what BJP offers is government building accessible to common people. They say that we will, the good governance and less government and good and more governance and all that will be that they will ensure in 2019 that they will ensure that it comes to your doorstep. You will have more access to government offices. So that's the first thing they've offered. They've offered to build a museum for tribal freedom fighters. They have offered completing development of Panch Tirth circuit. They said they will build a Panch Tirth circuit for Hindus. They said that the pension for this is a good one. They have offered pension for unorganized workers, both farm workers and unorganized workers, even urban workers. They have offered a pension scheme, and they said they have continued to clean Ganga and make it absolutely clean as they had committed. Now, again, I'm inclined to go with Congress, but for that one scheme which BJP has promised, and that is the pension for unorganized laborers. The pension for unorganized labor will actually do a lot of help both for rural laborers and for urban laborers. And purely with that hope that they will deliver it, I would like to give this round to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now let's come to the Bharatiya Janata Party's most favorite topic, and that's defense. The Congress says that Congress will reverse the trend of declining defense spending and increase the defense spending. This is what the Congress promises, and of course the BJP says we will speed up all the buyings that we have to do. We will get Rafale and all the other things that we need and make Indian Army stronger and fitter. We'll get everything that it requires if we come back to power. So these are the two commitments that these two parties are making. I don't see strength in either of the commitment. Actually, both are just words. I don't know what much of it is going to happen. So the fact remains that I feel that this is more of a emotional take than an actual practical promise. So I will give it a tie because both of them have said what they wanted to. So good for them. I don't know how much of this will be implemented. So for me, defense is a tie. Now let's come to the last segment of my show, and that is some promises that BJP has made and some promises that Congress has made that technically cannot be compared with each other because they're chalk and cheese. So basically, I'll just run through the promises that BJP has made. The first promises that BJP has made is they have made to build the Ram Mandir. Very, very interestingly, BJP has promised to build the Ram Mandir in 1996 when they fought their election. BJP had promised to build the Ram Mandir in 1998 when they fought the election. BJP had promised to build Ram Mandir in 2004 when they fought the election. BJP promised to build Ram Mandir in 2009 when they fought the election. BJP promised to build Ram Mandir in 2014 when they fought the election. BJP is now promising to build Ram Mandir in 2019 when they are fighting this election. Rest is up to you to decide. Article 370, scrapping of Article 370 and 35A is what the BJP has promised in this elections. They had promised it in 2009, they had promised it in 2014 too. They continue to promise it. I wonder, when BJP was an absolute majority, why couldn't they do it, and how they are going to do it now? Wouldn't the same impediments that they faced in 2014, they continue to face in 2019? So how could they commit this now? But all the same, they have committed it. Rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits. They have promised that they will rehabilitate Kashmiri Pandits. My question to them is the same. Why couldn't they do it in the last 5 years? And they have said that they would institute the Citizen Amendment Bill. Citizen Amendment Bill will be instituted as soon as possible by the BJP. This is what they said in their manifesto. A few things that Congress has promised: protection of institutions, which is CBI, RBI, ECI, CIC, etc. Okay, now the question I wanted to ask the Congress is, you see, protection from what? Protection from your own people, by the way. Because somewhere down the line, CBI was not just infiltrated by BJP. It is not just BJP corrupted CBI. CBI was also interfered with when Congress government was in power. So, well, I mean, now Congress government saying that, we want to clean up the system and all, sounds a little unbelievable. So that being said, Aadhaar card. That's a one good thing that Congress has committed. If they do it, nice. They said Aadhaar card will be used for what it was created for. Aadhaar card was created to dole out social benefits, not to interfere and not to infringe in private citizens' life. Congress said we will ensure that it will be used for what it was created to. That's the second one. Now let's come to some controversies that Congress got itself into after launching their manifesto. The first one is ASPA. ASPA is Armed Forces Special Powers Act. They said they will relook at the ASPA, whether ASPA is required or not. They said they will relook at ASPA, which got them into a lot of controversy. They said they will omit IPC section 124A, which deals with sedation. They said it's a draconian act and we will omit it. They said they will omit IPC section 499, which is criminal defamation. They said it is used for political gains against their adversaries. So they said that they will also omit it. So this is what the two parties in front of you promised. This is what my opinion was. I gave my point of view. You can choose and give yours. But the point is, you see, I am not very surprised that overall Congress's manifesto was better and BJP's manifesto was actually weak. It was not as good as Congress manifesto. And I will tell you the reason why. It is not possibly, I am not trying to say that therefore BJP is a bad party or BJP is a bad government and all that. That's not the point. You see, manifesto is part of persuasion of a political party for your vote. That is why they create manifesto. That's the only reason why they create manifesto. That is a tool of persuasion. Okay. Now, if you actually look at persuasion and you look at it from an Aristotle point of view, Aristotle had said that there are three categories of persuasion. One, he says, one is called ethos. The second is called pathos. And the third is called logos. Ethos, pathos, logos. It's very interesting. Give me 2 minutes. I'll try and explain. You see, ethos, according to Aristotle, means when you have endorsements. So when you have big stars coming and endorsement, मैं ये खाता हूँ, क्या आप लेते हो? You know, people buy it. The product is bought because it's endorsed. So when you have celebrities, big people endorsing something, people tend to believe it. So that persuasion is effective. People tend to believe it and take the point of view or buy the product. So that is ethos. Now let's come to pathos, is when you use emotions. When there is a lot of emotions used. बालाकोट में मैं गया था, मैंने किया, मेरे सेना ने किया, मेरे आर्मी ने किया, मैं नेशनलिस्ट हूं, अगर मैं 56 इंच का हूं, मैं जान दे दूंगा, मेरे जीते जी नहीं हो. Emotions, tremendous amount of emotions. When a persuasion is done through emotions, it is called pathos. And then there is the last category of persuasion, which is called as logos. Logos is about logic. Everything is logic. Because you may not have the strength to create that kind of emotion amongst the masses, amongst your target audience. So therefore, you don't have a choice. So then what you do is you talk logic as much as possible. Now in the recent election, or possibly why recent election, all through, right from 2014 to now, BJP has been playing pathos. They have been playing emotions. All their campaign has been emotion based, has been about the country, has been about nationalism. If you are not voting for BJP, you are anti-national. You know, every person who is part of BJP is nationalist and so on and so forth. So everything has been about emotions. Congress didn't have that draw like Mr. Narendra Modi. Didn't have that command over people's mind, people's heart like what Narendra Modi had. They couldn't go through pathos. So they went to logos. So they had to create a fantastic manifesto for you to even listen to them. Now one good thing what Rahul Gandhi did is he did that. He got his entire power together, he got his entire team together and he made a good manifesto. That said, my final statement, because a manifesto is good, that doesn't mean that the government or whichever party that has published the manifesto is going to actually implement it. My only hope is that this time around, a Narendra Modi or a Rahul Gandhi will actually take their manifesto seriously. And believe me you, whether it is the Narendra Modi manifesto, that is the BJP manifesto or the Congress manifesto, if they implement it as they have said it, either ways, if they have implemented as they have said it here, you can be rest assured, you have a lovely country in the next 5 years. You have a successful country in the next 5 years. You have a prosperous country in the next 5 years. One has to see whether this will be implemented. HW News Network today is a year and a half old. Thanks to your support, thanks to your love, we've grown. We require your support a little more. What we request you to do is to download our free app. Our app is in Hindi, English and Marathi. We promise to update you with the latest news, views, analysis, interview. We also have a live TV going in that. If you download our app, we will get advertisers. And if we get advertisers, we'll get revenue. We get revenue, we can serve you better. So once again, please do support us. Please download our app. Namaskar.